Hello guys and welcome to WEF Newsline, where we give you the highlights for the day 1 of Women's Economic Forum held in Chennai. The first plenary session takes an economic perspective on the architectures of modern Tamil Nadu.
C.K. Ranganathan, Chairman and Managing Director of Kevin Care Limited, along with two other panelists, talked about the architects of modern Tamil Nadu and economic perspective. C.K. Ranganathan gave many tips for aspiring entrepreneurs, and he also talked about the role of women at workplaces. Rajendran Dandapani of Business Solutions, also an evangelist at Zoho Corporation, discussed about the flipped classroom concept. The third member of the panel was Vanita Mohan, who is the chairman of Precoal Limited India. She discussed about the importance of water conservation in Chennai and how water and air pollution is affecting Chennai at present and how it can affect Chennai in the near future if certain steps are not taken. At the end of the session, C.K. Ranganathan countered the popular notion that speaking English implies intelligence.
The next session taught us how martial art forms contribute to women's safety.
Kanagalakshmi Tamil Selvam talks about harnessing martial art forms for women's safety. She mentioned that martial arts is a codified system and tradition of combat practices which are practiced for a number of reasons such as self-defense, military, mental and spiritual development. She showed different martial art forms with the dummy, much to the delight of an enthusiastic audience. She mentioned how it is important for women to focus on martial arts along with their studies. Martial arts gives them the necessary discipline and the required safety techniques to combat sexual predators.
Up next, we have women leaders from the world of technology talking about their contribution.
The latest session on the Women's Economic Forum is on the topic Women Leaders in Technology. The panelists for the same are Dr. Indumati Nambi, Ms. Indu Jaykumar and Dr. Chitra Rajan. Here we can see Dr. Indumati Nambi talking about how the world's most popular technological forums like Facebook, Twitter and Alibaba are all founded by men. The elaborate setup adds to the glamour, and the sound system ensures that the mic is set up properly and is audible to the whole crowd. As you can see, the amount of 3 speakers seem to be quite popular, as the amount of people they pull in is immense and more than the other panels.
Next, we have Mridula Sharma talking about reincarnation of oneself.
Mridula Sharma shared the astonishing story of the reincarnation of her former self.
All around the world they are there, because Dr. Stevenson, when he came and met me, that time he told us stories from Middle East, stories from Burma and Sri Lanka. Of course, they have the same type,
She explains there's a scientific reasoning behind this unusual occurrence and how with karma we can change the whole destiny.
Definitely karma, the law of karma talks about it, it tells that we have to be born, because if we do something bad or something good, that has to be, that best explains, karma best explains it.
She even talked about the divine attribution accorded by people who came to know about this quite amusingly. She signed off by explaining her plans for the future revolving around writing.
Yeah, I'm writing books as it comes to me. This book was written so many years back, but I haven't yet published it.
Next, we have a panel of young entrepreneurs talking about their unique and successful
The
journey.
plenary session of Narrative of the Millennials, The Way Forward. Young innovators and thinkers share their stories of life journey and discovery, and how they have contributed to the development of a wholesome society. From speakers as young as 10 years old to 20 years old, showcase their talent and the elements of their startups. From magic to creative writing, from Western classical music to stress relieving drumming techniques, from creative teaching techniques to immersive inventions. The segment covered it all. The session was all about the power of the youth and how they are the future of a changing society. The talk started with Sharon Shakti's rendition of Sam Smith's song, followed by Jay Aswani's speech on starting a company at the raw age of 30. The program concluded with Mridlesh Kumar's magic show and the award ceremony where the speakers were felicitated with the honors.
Attrition of women in middle management is a serious issue, and its causes and outcomes are discussed in depth by three women.
Bhargavi Ramachandran kicked off the session Attrition of Women in Middle Management and Its Causes and Outcomes by urging women to support each other by stating the example of women in administration.
When these women got together, they said, three, four of them, let's try a strategy.
She ended with the bottom line that it was not a feminist agenda, rather, we needed more women leaders in this world.
Biased, simply because that is our revolutionary heritage. We are actually not using those very well in organizations today.
While Mamta Jain jumped right into the reality of the downright patriarchal system existing in middle management and how women are never given preference for promotions.
But this downright patriarchal things which is working against women in the middle management. Not given a promotion because first of all the appreciation doesn't come to women.
The session ended on a lively note, with Mamta Formra encouraging women to brush aside the attrition factors and to not let anyone stop you in your pursuit of success.
The men around us. Who has given birth to these men? Who has trained them? Who has educated them? We have done it. If my husband was
Next, we see some women who have done wonders in their respective fields.
In one of the plenary sessions titled Wonder Woman, many powerful women talked about the adversities they had to face in their respective fields to fulfill their dreams and aspirations. They talked about myriad topics ranging from women's suicides to patriarchy to empowerment of rural women and child caring. Harpin Arora said that caring for the community is essential to create a better society. Radha Bhaskar doesn't come from a music background but still started an organization to make people understand the beauty of music. Neena Reddy talked about self-love and urges women to think positively. Lakshmi Swaminathan talks about why she chose pediatrics as her profession. Jacqueline Francis talked about how all the auditors in the company are females to encourage women empowerment. Altogether, this was a very enriching experience.
Thank you for being with us. We'll see you again tomorrow.